Fly 3 to 5. It's Mzi and he's in studio with me. It's Mzilikazi. Those of you who don't know, is a brave warrior in so many ways. Chatting to me, Mzilikazi Wa Africa, chatting to me this afternoon. Of course, featuring Brenda Mtambo on that project. Award-winning, multi-award-winning journalist, author, music producer, songwriter, and he just told me now that now he's into movies. Okay, so he's a founder of Bomba Africa, an independent record label based here in Johannesburg, and of course an anthropology of authentic African music with sounds from all over the continent. Me and him come from the same province, the same region. So he's my brother, like literally. Mzi, how are you?
I'm good, Ceci, and how are you?
I'm good. You know, you're one of those people that I tell people, guys, don't upset me. If I call my brother on you, you'll have problems.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good.
Are you good?
Yep.
Okay, so let's. Is this your second album?
My third
album.
Yeah.
Okay. What this song? Where is it taken from that album?
Yeah, the new one.
The new one.
Rise. That's the title track of the new album, Rise.
Mm-hmm.
I'm featuring my sister Brenda Mtambo.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I wrote this song, Rise, just as to a motivation to my brothers and sisters out there, at home and abroad, that we need to stand up and be accounted for what we want. And so instead of us fighting, dying in silence, our voices must
be heard.
Yes, yeah. So that's what it's all about.
You know, when we talk about standing up and fighting and our voices being heard, people are like, I mean, really, what do you mean? What does that mean in 2021? In the times of COVID, in the age of no access to vaccine, in the age of corruption. What do you mean by stand up and rise and let your voices be heard?
The issue is you don't need to pick up pick up a big fight. You fight for what you think are your basic rights. Your rights to be vaccinated or not vaccinated.
Yes.
Yes. So those are the things I say. Stand up. If you want to be vaccinated, stand up and say, I want to be vaccinated. If you don't want to, stand up and say, I don't want to be vaccinated. And these are my reasons. People must respect that. You know? So that's all I'm saying. Again, we don't need to rise when we rise because we are oppressed.
Yeah.
So we don't need to feel comfortable in this oppression.
Yeah.
We need to make the person who's oppressing us feel that we are uncomfortable.
Okay.
And make him uncomfortable. Yeah.
Okay. So, those who know days, first of all, when did you make the transition to music? Or was music that's something that you always loved and you just put in the back burner and you went and became a journalist and all of that? How did it happen? What came first?
Music came first.
Yeah.
I wrote my first song when I was 11 years old.
Okay.
I wrote my first poem when I was 13 years old. So I've always been into writing. So for me,
creative expression.
Expression. So for me, writing a song came like I was a member of a church choir. So we singing from hymn books every day. And one day I said why? Someone wrote those
those
so
words.
I sat down, I wrote my first song. It was called Holy Spirit. And I presented it to the church choir. The following day, they loved it. And they encouraged me to write more songs. So I started scribbling around, reading more and all of that. Remember those days, there was no Google, there was no internet. You have to find a hard copy book to read and all of that. So I started reading more and I came across Mzilikazi's album, Changes Pain.
Yes.
And it changed my way of thinking radically, politically, and otherwise, So, that's the journey. So, writing came later, music came first. I became known for writing.
And now you're being known for your...
No, but I mean... When I released Mawelele, Mawelele was number one in the world. Everyone knew about that song all over the world, but they didn't know exactly who's this Mzi, because they didn't differentiate who's Mzilikazi and Mzi, because Mzi is short for Mzilikazi, so I use that that as my artistic name.
So let's go back to that 11-year-old. Where exactly in Mpumalanga did you grow up, for those who don't know?
I grew up in a village called Sibambayane, next to your village, Shatali. in Bushbuck Ridge, Mpumalanga.
So, Bushbuck Ridge last week was trending for the wrong reasons, Mzilikazi. I'm very stressed. That woman there.
Don't.
Mzilikazi, we have to talk about it because everyone said to me, Penny, between that and when the church collapsed in Nigeria. Remember when the church collapsed in Nigeria?
And
even when with Major One, there were some people from Bushbuck. I'm like, guys, we are working to please put Bushbuck Ridge on the map for the right reasons. Yeah. You guys are busy doing strange things.
Rosemary,
man.
Aye. Hey. No, it so it happened. It happened like, I'm busy updating my policies.
Yeah.
That's the funniest part,
Yeah.
So, my dad passed on, so now my stepmom is my responsibility. So I just phone the insurance company and say I'm adding my mom and onto this because now she's my responsibility. My dad is late and all of that. So they phone her and all of that just to confirm and all of that.
And she's like, well, I'm going to die.
So now when this thing comes out, I'm like, man, how did this now?
Yeah, well, those are the stories of our lives, as a people of this country, and these are things that people are dealing with. But Rosemary is
Rosemary is putting Bushbuck Ridge in a very bad light.
Very bad and we constantly have been recovering. As Mpumalanga, Bushbuck Ridge, we were famous for certain things, and we're like, guys, that's not who we are. It's not all of us. Here we go.
Yes.
So let's talk about the conversations and things that you write about in your music.
See, my music writing is like I'm motivated by life. Things I see, I read about, observe, analyze. Like if you look at song Vuga, we are talking about Usfunu Mhlaba wethu right now. So Vuga is motivated by that. That we want back our land, Umhlaba sashiyelwa umkhulu wethu. Like Maswele Masiswinis, let's go back to our roots and be proud of who we are as Africans, So those are the things that I'm talking about. I'm talking about me as an African and not shying away from who I am, what I stand for, and make Africa proud with whatever I'm doing.
So you do you do these amazing posts of like visuals on Twitter with like, just from like, dress up, fashion, beautiful women, places. Like, where do you get those pictures?
That's my secret. I'm allowed to keep it.
Did it just start at like, this is how I'm going to, do my curate my content on Twitter?
Well, it started with my traveling around Africa. I realized when I travel, I see stuff that I don't see on social media. So I said, okay, let me capture this. Let me share with my brothers and sisters so they can see what is Africa. Africa is not about hunger and poverty and all of that. We do have some amazing stuff. So that's why it started there. So I started that with my own collection. Then more and more people started inboxing me
and sending
me stuff. So because they can see what I'm trying to do. So that's how it all started. It started with my travel around Africa, collecting photos and all of that. So
how many countries have you been to on the continent? Do you know?
I need to take off my shoes to start counting. I've been to a lot.
East, west, south, north. You've been to all parts.
I've been to all parts.
To all parts. So, okay. What stood out the most for you on your travels about the continent? What did you love?
I think Mombasa for me. I think because of the fact that I spend more time with the Maasai warriors.
Yeah, and you're tall.
Yes, exactly.
So you felt at home.
Yes, I felt at home. Like that's why I always say to my kids, one day I think we'll relocate and go and stay in Mombasa.
Oh my goodness, that's so beautiful.
They look at me like, are we? Okay.
Yeah.
So because every country going on the continent has got a specific history.
Yeah.
You go to Ghana, you find the point of no return. You know what it means to you as a black person. You go to Senegal, you find Gore Island.
Yes.
You see, everywhere you go in Africa,
there's a
story and it will touch you one way or the other. So those are the things, Africa is so amazing because for me it's like a education. It's the education that I didn't get at school. I'm getting it by traveling across the continent.
So Kwame Nkrumah says, I'm not African because I'm born in Africa, but because Africa is in me.
It's in me.
Yeah, so what does that mean to you?
It means that wherever I'm going, I'm carrying Africa, part of Africa with me.
Yeah.
And I must not shy away from sharing it and showing off.
Sharing it and showing off. Okay, so this song we're going to play now, it's called Boloja.
No, it's Africa featuring
Boloja.
Swaziland.
From Swaziland.
Yes.
Okay, what is this song talking about?
Again, it's talking about Africa, that if Tina, as Africans, we don't preserve our culture and stuff like understand?
They already are.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back with more after this. I'm this afternoon with multi-award winning journalist, author, music producer and songwriter Mzilikazi Wa Africa, known as Mz, the founder of Bomba Africa, an independent record label based here in Joburg. And the song we're playing in the background is called Africa, featuring Boloja. Coming from, is there a dance version of this song?
Yeah.
Yes.
There is a dance version. There's also a piano version.
Yes. He comes from Swaziland, you said.
Yeah, but Boloja is from Swaziland.
So you have done so much work, collaborated, with some legends like Mansa from Mali, Salif Keita, the late Oliver Mtukudzi, Kampi Moto, amongst others. How did you strike these relationships with these artists?
I grew up listening to Salif Keita, Duku as well. So for me, I think I remember back in the days, my mom actually, she's the one who introduced me to Salif Keita.
Yeah.
And I told mom, I said, now one day when I grow up, I'll work with this guy. My mom looked at me like, my son, keep on dreaming.
Yeah.
And then when it happened, for me, it was just a very amazing experience. And it's funny how it happened, because I just took a flight to Mali. I didn't have an appointment. I took a flight to Mali. When I got to the airport, I said to the cab driver, take me to Salif Keita's house.
Wow.
I just walk in there and and then he looked at me and said, don't you have a telephone, email,
where you come from, anything?
So
you just show up.
Just show up.
What if I was in France or somewhere?
And it's so funny that on the day when I arrived there, there was a crowd waiting for him, as he was also coming back from France. So I arrived there. There's a lot of crowd. They are really setting up the stage for him and all of that. It was very amazing experience, So I was just like, I want to speak to him. Dude,
do you speak any French?
No, my French is terrible, but I do have a friend who speaks French. I've got Bomba Africa's got a studio in Lubumbashi in DRC.
Okay.
So G Sparks, who's running that, is the one who translates stuff for me if it's in French.
Okay.
So, because he speaks French and Lingala.
Wow. Okay, so you have a proper network.
Yes.
So what I'm fascinated about is how did you develop this network? Was it over time?
It was over time, it started I meet you, I save your number, and then rainy days I've said, okay, I'm in the studio, it's me. Remember we met 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm up here, So that's how I developed that friendship, and also for the fact that even when I was not recording, I was engaging with those people on different things, like song ideas. Because I do have my own studio. Some of them come to my studio to record their material and all of that. So the relationship goes down. My last album was 12 years ago, Tamanin, and now it's Rise. So in between, I signed Rafiki to the label.
Yeah.
I took them across Africa. We recorded a Pan-African album with different African musicians. So for me, even though I was not releasing, but I was always involved in music one way or another, as a producer, songwriter, and otherwise.
Wow. So Tamaning wasn't Sepulana.
No, Tamaning in Sepulana is Sali Tamaning, but in song as well. It means the same thing.
The same thing.
Yes.
Which is Dumelang. Likai. Tobela, Sanbonan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, for a lot of we sing, for example, I'm a piano artist going into the UK. We know the journey of South African artists, breaking into the continent. But the question has always been how do South African artists sustain what Miriam, you, Masekela, and their generation were able to do with keeping that South African music identity throughout the continent? Because in recent times, okay, 1 minute they're there, 1 minute they're not. What does it take? What would you say it takes?
I think we of late, as South African musicians, we decided to be followers instead of being trendsetters. Creators.
Yeah.
Like back in the days when we started with a tribal house.
Yeah.
There's no club in the world where they didn't play Mahuelele with that Shangan guitar and the song.
Yeah.
So, we started that trend. So then when we hear a new sound, we started like, okay, let me try that. Let me try the Drake style and all of that. Instead of us polishing what we have and taking it to another level.
Yeah. Okay. So how as someone who's making music now, make sure that you do that, but also connect different generations? Because also the other thing, when you talk about the distinct Shangan guitar, it's very disheartening if you hear like a hip hop artist who might come from the greater north of Limpopo, somewhere in Joburg, with a heritage of the Shangan Otsonga people, but they have no idea what the distinct Shangan guitar is.
Yeah.
How do we expose young people more to that, if that's the case?
No, young people have got all the platforms for them to learn about anything under the sun.
Yeah.
Tina, when we were growing up, we didn't have all these opportunities, but we chose what we wanted to know.
Yeah.
And we excelled in it.
Yeah.
Without all the resources that they have now. So, if people want to know something, they will know.
They will know.
If they don't want to,
they won't. They won't.
So you can't. They say you can force a horse to the river, but you can't force it to drink the water.
Drink the water. Okay, here it is. Z featuring Candy Ness. Money remix of Mahuelele. Okay, what is this about? What is this? What made this song? What's the story behind it?
So this song is funny. Every time I go home to Bushbuckridge, my dad would take a famana Mchongolweni every Sunday.
Yeah.
So we go to Mchongolweni, and then there are people who are singing a song.
Yeah.
And then it triggered this whole. If these people were singing this song like this one, it will say like this. So I can't repeat what they were singing because it was vulgar.
Yeah. Always the case at the Mchongolo. Shucks. So Mchongolo is like it's dance. But it's mainly men.
No, in women. Women are doing the backing vocals.
The backing vocals.
Yeah. My Welele came from the women who were doing the backing vocals. So I was listening there. I was like, okay. But what they're singing, you can't take it to the radio because it's too much vulgar.
Yeah.
So I sat down and I said, I can rework what they're singing in my own way and interpret it.
Yeah.
So I wrote this song and then I called Candy.
Yeah.
I said, Sissy, I've got this song.
Yeah.
She came, and when I also told her, I said, this is where the song comes from. So you? How did you change it from there
to this?
To this.
All right, let's check it out. Here on Massive Metro with me, Penny. Continue to bring you great music and great conversations. My guest this afternoon is my brother, Mzilikazi Wa Africa, and we're talking music and, of course, and the love of this beautiful continent of ours and how we show up as ourselves to the rest of the world. Featuring Pila Dlozi in studio, Mazibuyelo Emasizweni. Oh, Emasisweni. Like,
go back
to our roots. You're almost like reborn again. Yeah. Okay. All right. So how did you meet Pila?
So that's a very strange story. So someone sent me a video of Pila basking in Randbeck.
Yeah. The reason I ask is because everybody has a beautiful story of how they met Pila. I think that's like just,
this guy is in KZN, is Bonza Love. So he sent me this video. He said, brother, I know you're in the studio. I think you should work with this boy.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. I look at the video so I can see where he is basking. I said, okay, I'll go there tomorrow.
Yeah.
So tomorrow I go to Randbeck where he was. There. He's not there. Okay.
That's Pila for you.
Then I write back to the guy. I said, I went there. The guy was not there. So, and then one evening, my engineer phones me, said, look, yesterday after he left me at home, I was taking a walk. I bumped into Pila in the same neighborhood, and he showed me where he's staying. I'm like, okay, dude, let's drive.
Let's drive there and find him.
So we drove there, we knocked, and then Pila came out, and I'm like, dude, I'm in the studio, and I want to work with you.
Yeah.
Said, what do you have in mind? I played him the song.
Yeah.
He started singing it immediately.
That's Pila
in the
for
back
you.
on the back of my seat, like singing it, and I said, tomorrow we're going to the studio to record it. So that's how it happened.
Pila is such an amazing gift.
Amazing.
He's such a talent.
The energy and
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's just such a beautiful spirit. I'm so excited that you guys connected because, you know, for him, he just needs to be with the right energy kind of people where he'll do amazing things.
Great things are coming for Pila. I'm very excited. I'm very excited.
So this is in your album.
Yes.
All right. We coming back with more after this. Do stay with us. So many times, and I am like blessed to have lived, during that era while she was performing when her energy was still fire. What a performer, Mz. This is a classic remix.
Yes. Umambusi has influenced a lot of us musically.
Yeah.
She was humble, down to earth, and at the time, I used to, when I was in Durban, I wouldn't go to Durban without going to spend more time with her
at her house.
At her house, and it was amazing. The knowledge,
and she was so well traveled, and she's performed in amazing places. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow.
So like now I hook up with her daughter Mpumi.
Yeah.
And then because she's got now the estate.
Yeah, she's a custodian to her
so
legacy.
I told her I'm in the studio, and then she said she gave me songs to choose from, and this was one of the songs I chose to remix. Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Well, Mzilikazi, thank you so much for coming through.